Welcome back, everybody, to the RXFL. It is the second half here, and it's the Houston Voyagers and the St. Louis Rhinos Monday Night Football wrapping up week number 12. We've kind of mentioned we're going to start doing going forward, so those of you that are watching on YouTube, you're going to get all the plugs at the beginning of our streaming day. That's when we'll hit you with all the plugs, the Patreon, the YouTube, all that fun stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, then you only get the plugs. You guys don't want to, you hear the plugs sometimes. Patreon.com/TB Sports. You know what it's all about. But we hit you with the plugs at the top. We gave the shout-outs off the top. This is the second half. And it's Boomer Esiason who still remains in there for the Houston Voyagers, despite the fact that the fans, that the people, they really want to see Troy Aikman. Luckily for the Houston Voyagers, for the coaching staff, for everyone, they are on the road, so they're not really having to deal with all the hassle that's happening right now. And I'm sure the fans at home are screaming to get Boomer Esiason out of the game, as they usually tend to do. But we will see if the St. Louis Rhinos can continue here offensively, doing their thing. With playoff hopes dwindling, maybe we see a Troy Aikman rally. Jim Kelly stepping up. Oh, man, Kelly finally throws it. He was debating who he wanted to throw it to. Could not decide, and who knows, maybe the Voyagers come in and get this stop here early on in the third quarter. And Kelly.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sacked by Mike Singletary. He's had a couple of big moments.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play.
We said it a number of times in the first half, but it's been Boomer Esiason. He's been fighting to silence the doubters, right? And every time he steps onto the field, it's an opportunity to silence the doubters. Now, you're going to look at the stat line so far if you're just tuning in. If you missed the first half, you're going to want to check the first half in the archives here on YouTube. But do continue watching. But it's been not the greatest first half. Most of the scoring has come at the running game here for the Houston Voyagers. And the passing game has not quite been there for Houston quite yet. And a number of interceptions as well thrown in the first half by Boomer Esiason. Play action fake here. Boomer lines up, and there's Sammy Watkins. There you see the numbers 5 of 12. That puts him at 101 with the handful of interceptions for the Voyagers.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Play fake.
They'll look to throw here.
And Sammy Watkins reels it in again. So Boomer.
Previous play, and it's better than 40 yards.
Boomer Esiason putting some nice plays together. As we said, trying to quiet the doubters down, quiet them down. McNeil, he's had a couple of nice runs in this ball game. I mean, there's the numbers right there, all ones across the board for McNeil. Handful of touchdowns as well.
We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And there is McNeil pushing guys off, first down. Lava Man says, if you like WWE, I would recommend a mobile game called WWE Supercard. I have heard a lot of hype. I'm not much of a mobile game player. Early on in my smartphone era, I played Tiny Tower quite a bit, if you guys remember that. I wish I still had my old login for that. I'm sure it's still in the Tiny Tower world, but I had a really cool tower. And then I played The Simpsons Tapped Out for a while as well, and then I kind of just fell out of playing that. My town, I mean, it was cool. It got so big. But then I was spending my whole time just tapping instead of, you know. But that was a super fun game. But I'm not much of a mobile game person, but I have heard a lot of the hype around WWE Supercard. A lot of people do seem to like that, seem to enjoy it. There's a New Japan card game, right? Isn't there one of those? Because I've seen some of the video, like the New Japan wrestlers and the Stardom wrestlers playing that. Are they going to mark that as a first down? They are. How about that play by Powell?
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So the Voyagers, they are.
Great impressive drive going here.
This is a touchdown. They need to take. McNeil looking for number 3. No.
But you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play.
Esiason has looked really good here on this drive so far.
Ended up going backwards.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
Into traffic, intercepted by Jack Lambert.
Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys
will that be the one? I mean, that was a touchdown they had to have.
Many weeks from his linebacker position.
Boomer, the interceptions outweighing the touchdowns, and at this point, I mean, when do we see Troy Aikman? I feel like we did see Troy Aikman, right? Didn't we do some Voyager streams earlier this year? We saw Troy Aikman. But I'm talking about full time for Troy Aikman.
So make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground.
And Eric Dickerson. He's got one man to beat, and Dickerson is gone. Troy Polamalu again just gets, I mean, Dickerson blows right past him. And then Mel Renfro as well.
Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing.
We were getting all the hype because of what we saw last time we saw the Rhinos with their passing game. But Eric Dickerson has come in today, and he's put the attention on himself.
You know, the second half, no matter what, with his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And now out comes Houston. And 3
So Boomer is still in the game here. Empty set. 31-14. And Esiason is sacked. And it's starting to get away from this Voyager squad. 4 and 6.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely
And as we said, it's a team that can ill afford any more losses on the year, and they're going that way for a big loss here.
That's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about
Esiason is sacked again.
Down he goes again.
Jonathan Vilma.
So Brandon, we sat in with
Don't you just want to take? You see the Voyagers got the yellow under their on the chest there, the yellow V, and then the Rhinos are missing the yellow. Don't you just want to take the yellow from that uniform and stick it on the Rhinos and make it complete?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left.
Boomer could not get rid of the football. James Harrison, and it's 4th and 31.
I think we've seen this before.
That was an absolute disaster of a drive.
That situation there.
The St. Louis Rhinos making their claim here on Monday night, back-to-back streams, showing out. And I think it might be happening, folks. You're starting to see the warm-up.
52 yards.
We might see Troy Aikman coming in here.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time.
Not a whole lot of time left, though, for Houston. But Eric Dickerson, I mean, look at this. 268 on the ground.
You're always always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They'll keep it on the ground.
First down
and he'll be taken
for
down
Dickerson.
At the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Under a minute to go in this.
Fortunately for Aikman, when he does come in, oh man, it's so hard that the box, that box always blocks the middle of the field, so I can't really see. Like rewind it back, the box that says like block or shed or whatever, it covers up the screen. So then I'm like, oh crap, and I don't see the defender coming through either. That one, the one that says power, it'll cover the screen, and then before I know it, I'm like, oh crap, I'm getting sacked. Like I don't see that there's a player in my face. So quarter 3 will wind down here.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break.
Rhinos 31, Voyagers 14.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just
and
1 for
this
6.
could be field goal range. I don't know. Garo Yepremian. Do you think that he's kind of old school, but do you think that's in his range?
To throw is Kelly.
Well, we'll never know because Jim Kelly finds Hooper, who's had a number of beautiful catches in this game. And I think we're going to go ahead and make it official. I mean, it's going to fuel the fire, but it was not a great game for Boomer Esiason. And Troy Aikman is going to step into the game now. I'll have to review, and you know my classic, I'm going to say it, and nobody ever does, but I'm going to say it. Let me know in the comments below. I feel like in the past, when we streamed, we had to bench Boomer, but then they end up going back to him. So here it is again, I believe.
The 18-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
St. Louis in complete control of this game right now. There's the opening. Dickerson, 3 touchdowns. What an MVP performance here in Week 12 for Eric Dickerson.
So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game. And no one
so 38-14. We've had a number of blowouts here. Now, last week was all about the crazy competitive back and forth, a lot of high offense. We've had a lot of blowouts this week, as you'll see the scores at the bottom of your screen. So we're going to see how Troy Aikman does coming out here. And you wonder going into next season how it's going to go. And I think the only reason it's so, like, it's such a thing, I think, I don't know, I think it's because it's Houston. I don't know if on any other team this would be such a thing, but because it is Texas and you got Troy Aikman, the people want to see him. But here comes Aikman now, and we'll see what he does compared to Boomer Esiason. The first throw for Aikman, and it's completed by Powell. First down.
He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him.
So Aikman is going to start 1 for 1 here.
And give us some points.
Joe Buck cheering him on the sideline. There he is, partner. Aikman 2 for... No, it's going to be dropped.
We're trying to win a game.
Frustrating. It's going to be frustrating. You got a guy wide open. Your receiver can't hang on to it.
Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10.
There was all kinds of contact onto Walker. Referees let him go. And it's 3rd and 7 for Houston here. Do they have a last gasp in them?
This is 3rd and 7.
They do.
Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside.
First down, Voyagers, and Aikman so far looking good.
First down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe
Aikman, first down.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many
Now,
times.
I don't know if we have the power to go in and make that change, if the computer will keep it, but I mean, I think we got to be getting close to at least letting Troy take the second half of this year, right? We saw the Tennessee Oilers make the change to plunk it, and it completely turned their team around. But this has been a very good drive led by Troy Aikman, and, you know, almost fueling the fire now at this point. If Aikman can get a touchdown on the board here.
Accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first down. Now here's a pass on first down.
And almost swatted away. It's going to go incomplete.
He was trying to get it into Watkins, and now it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Boy, that play, that just kind of... Well, it's going to end up being a touchdown. That was a completely different play than what I had. No, they're going to say... So that's why I was confused, but Aikman was like, you know what? He just hung on to it, made it work. First and goal.
No matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary...
This is one of the hardest plays in this game, is when you're first and goal to try to get the score, because they just come from the outside. Usually these fullback plays work a little bit better, but by the time you hand it off, the guys come from the outside and just tackle your running back. And... Oh my goodness.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone.
Nothing happening right now for the Voyagers.
Coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
What a goal line stand this would be for the Rhinos.
They run the counter.
And they get it. You've got to be kidding me.
And he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
That's a really
so they're going to go ahead and go for it, of course, here.
From the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed.
What a goal line stand for the St. Louis Rhinos.
For their defense.
Aikman to throw it for the first time since they got to the goal line. James Harrison, was he touched? I don't know. I mean, it was a great drive by Aikman and company that may have bought him the starting job. Not sure.
Down by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
I mean, wow.
On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback,
Aikman just gets set and then gets dropped.
Get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception,
so the Rhinos will go into clock chewing mode. Dickerson remains in the game. I mean, he's got records he can be breaking here, but also you don't want to get him injured.
And he'll be taken down.
But 4 minutes to play. You figure just a couple of more handoffs and we can begin to put a bow on this one, guys. What do you guys think? We saw, if you guys joined us on Patreon, you guys have now seen 2 dominating performances here in prime time. As Dickerson, is Troy Polamalu finally going to get his man? Yes. 352 on the ground. That puts Dickerson at 1,000. I don't think he's going to break his record of, 2,000 plus.
Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload, but you and I both know.
But what do you guys think? Who, who's looking like the team? We're getting closer to playoff time in the RXFL, this journey. A lot of streaming, a lot of games. I know you guys have been enjoying it. We've been hearing the feedback here on YouTube, on Twitch. We've been hearing the feedback on Patreon. You guys have been enjoying the action. But who are you guys looking at your potential, not only your potential championship game,
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd
but a potential champion?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it looks like unless they score here, we're only going to end up seeing one Troy Aikman drive.
As we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now.
But it looked good.
One more first down to help salt this one away. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him.
So it is going to end up being 4th down. I didn't realize that was 3rd down, so we will get to see a little bit more of Troy Aikman here.
Let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Here's Yepremian.
And his kick
and he's good.
It's good.
41-14. Boy, it was close early on that first quarter.
So it's
really tightly contested game.
Even further here in the 4th.
And then it was all St. Louis. So now twice St. Louis has kind of put their stamp on these streams to be like, hey, we're here. You haven't seen us all year long. They didn't get the streams until late. Until the double digits was the first time we saw the Rhinos. St. Louis Rhinos are here, folks. So this could be the drive to dictate whether or not the Voyagers rock and roll with Troy Aikman the rest of the way to try to get their postseason run. I mean, everything Aikman's doing so far is looking like the guy. Albeit, I know a small sample sizing, but you got a large sample sizing from Boomer Esiason, and it hadn't happened yet.
Put this one behind them. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game. So
you guys watch Game Time with Boomer?
Yeah, recently I was
syndicated shows.
Where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200.
Aikman took a hit. He's delivering it right on the mark. I mean, a lot of the incompletions have just been dropped passes by his receivers.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll drop to throw.
That was a tough catch for Powell, but he brought it in. Voyagers will go ahead and call that timeout.
The offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half.
Yeah, signs of life for sure. Aikman, and there's your interception. Well, it was looking good. Aikman took a shot.
And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure.
Roy Williams will put the clincher in.
They've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues.
You take a knee, folks, and the St. Louis Rhinos are going to win their 7th on the year. We'll see if this win puts the Rhinos in the top 10. That'll be really interesting to see.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of
but now we are going to take a look at the scores of this week as we wrap it up, and we're going to get you previewed with Week 13 coming up. Can you believe it? We are almost at the end, folks.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to
5 more weeks.
To win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
I mean, we got to put Dickerson on the thumbnail, right? Without a doubt, without question. Why do we keep getting these stupid pictures?
They feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
Domination. We are the nation of domination. Domination from the St. Louis Rhinos.
So for the home team
here on Monday night,
their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4, and they'll get another home date next
Jim Kelly, 227, 2 touchdowns. Aikman looked good in relief through the interception down the stretch. I think we'll make the change. I don't know if the game will keep it, but I think we ride with, especially for the Voyagers, you got to ride with Troy the rest of the way, right? I would think so. Come on. Upgrade. Give me some upgrades. So now we wrap up. We wrap up week number 12. We keep it up. Let's see. And this is something I want to hear from you guys too. Would you like to see the score wrap up and the preview be a separate video? For those of you that are watching on YouTube, would that help you kind of be able to go in and look at the wrap up stuff better? Or, you know, with it being a separate video, you can go back in the future and immediately look and see like, hey, this is the wrap up to week 12 and I can see what the score, or do you prefer it just being tacked on to the end of the video here? Troy Aikman, we're making him the starter. We'll see if the game will keep it. And again, let me know in the comments which one you prefer. And we will look at week 13. We're going to look at the week 12 scores. We're going to take a look at the standings. And we'll preview everything you got coming up in week number 13. All right, here we go. Let's see how 12 ended up. We're not at 14 yet. So we got the New England Nightmare with a 7-point win over the New York Shamrocks. The Austin Armadillos, also a 7-point win over the Chicago Cougars. So Austin also looking good. They got Michael Vick. How about the London Bulldogs? That's what we expected out of them. Peyton Manning and company getting the win over Patrick Mahomes and the Brooklyn Beats. The Lumberjacks, victorious. Another win for them. They knock off the Philadelphia Benjamins. Toronto, that's a bit of a shocker. They blow out the LA Kiss, 42-14. London, no problem. It's a 3-point win over North Florida. Of course, we saw that game, and we saw that game. The San Francisco Demons getting the win over the Las Vegas Firebirds. A lot of tight games. The games we played were blowouts. The simulated games were quite close. The Mexico City Golden Eagles, a tight victory over the Tennessee Oilers. The Aftershocks knocking off the Celtic Tigers. And, of course, that game, if you want to see a dominating performance for the Tampa Bay Mutiny, that is up on Patreon, patreon.com/TBSports27. Of course, this game you saw, and you guys saw our Thanksgiving special. So, week 13, well, let's take a look at the standings real quick. Then we'll preview week 13. Looks like the Armadillos, you just saw right there, are going to run away with the South. Lumberjacks, number 1 at 10-1. The Monarchs at 8-2, and the Wolverines have fallen to number 3 at 9-2. Of course, the Monarchs have that draw right there. Mexico City, the Redwoods looking good. The Mutiny move up to number 6. The Armadillos are right in the hunt. That's why that LA Kiss loss was so big. Look at that. That puts them down with the Rhinos, the Desperados, the Aviators. So when you're looking at the American side of things, of course, you got the division winners, the top 6. You got the Monarchs, the Redwoods, the Armadillos in the hunt. You got the LA Kiss, the Lancers, the Huskies with that win over LA puts them in the hunt. The Celtic Tigers kind of missed out. London could make a rally here as well for the postseason. In the National, it's a lot tougher. You got the Lumberjacks of the West. They pretty much looking like they got that wrapped up. The Wolverines of the North are dominating. They got Mexico City on their tail, though. And then you got Tampa Bay in the South. Also in the North. I mean, the North is quite the division. My goodness. You got a pretty congested North right here. Then you got the Aviators, the Desperados, the Benjamins clinging on, and Tom Brady trying to get the Dirty Birds into the postseason. So it's going to be interesting because in the West, you got Portland. They're running away with it. In the East, Dallas and Columbus, one of those two are going to make it. Even Philadelphia has an outside shot. In the South, it's pretty much going to be Tampa. And in the North, look at this. You got 3 teams battling it out for that playoff spot. 1 will get the division. 2 will get the wild card. So if you're looking at things right now, you're thinking that these are going to be your wild card teams right here. But for the Rhinos, they got competition with the Aviators and the Benjamins for that wild card spot. Desperados could also fall from first place. So a lot of exciting stuff still to come here. And now we will look at your Week 13 schedule. So right off the bat, the games that you're guaranteed to get, you're going to get the Thursday night game, the Columbus Aviators and the Chicago Cougars. You're going to get the Oklahoma City Lancers and the Atlanta Dirty Birds, and your Patreon exclusive. That's going to be a big game. You're going to want to sign up $5 right now. Patreon.com/TBSports27. That's a huge game between the Dallas Desperados and the Mexico City Golden Eagles. My goodness. So you're going to get 2 Sunday games. Let's see. That right there, I think, has got to be our Sunday game, right? The Monarchs and the Redwoods, 2 top teams. let's look at what else we got. I don't think there's any other question. I mean, that would be another potential one. The Armadillos and the Wolverines. Oh, man. But I think you can't. You got to go with the Monarchs and the Redwoods. I mean, those are the top 2 teams in the league right there. Your afternoon game, let's see what we got. Not a whole lot to pick from. The Kiss and the Egyptians, the Celtic Tigers, the Huskies, the Elks, and the Nightmare, and the Firebirds, and the Lumberjacks. There's a part of me that wants to just do this game, but looking at the list we got here, I almost think that we got to go with Lumberjacks and Firebirds. Again, Portland being your number 1 team. So that's gonna be your lineup. Portland and Las Vegas. You got Mexico City, Dallas, Atlanta, Oklahoma City, Chicago, and Columbus. And a big one between the Monarchs and the Redwoods. That is going to be Week 13. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Boy, we did a 4 hours, right, today? Oh, my goodness, we did a lot. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got the Mutiny and the Egyptians up right now on Patreon, so do tune in for that, and we're going to see you guys later on this week. We'll see you on Tuesday for more streaming.